All right, guys, welcome back to my channel. To the new ones, welcome, welcome. Today, I have a wonderful story, truthfully very powerful with Herbert. His journey comes from being in prison for a few years and then just building this company of his candies, which is called Chapatitos. We're going to be talking about his journey. We're going to be talking about the lessons he's learned along the way, how he has redeemed his life, as well how Chapatito was created. So, Herbert, thank you so much for being here and thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So, let's just get into it.
Yeah, let's dive in.
So, I want to ask you a few questions. I've been moved by everything. It looks like you're catching the attention of a lot of people and inspiring people
Thank
with
you.
your story. As for me, when I saw it, it was very, I feel like I needed to reach out to you. I feel like your story could really impact a lot of people. And I feel like it move a lot of people who's probably going through a low time and they need some example. I can make it out there.
Yeah, most definitely.
Can you tell us about what led you there?
So what led me to prison was that I was drinking and driving.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to be an alcoholic, a drug addict.
Okay.
I've been sober now for 10 years,
Hmm.
which is one of the biggest blessings. Like it just has completely changed my life.
Okay.
That one decision just created so much impact. It's been positive in my life that I wouldn't change it for the world. But before that, I wasn't so self-conscious or aware of like how deep in the rabbit hole my addiction was taking me. I would party, I would club, I was selling drugs,
Hmm.
which is kind of where the entrepreneur like mindset kind of comes into play.
Hmm.
A lot of things that went to my head, where it was like, I feel like I'm entitled. I feel like I can get away with things, and drinking and driving, that was one of the key ones. And yeah, I ran a red light and I killed an 18-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah, and I got a life sentence out of that. I got a 15 to life sentence out of that.
Oof, that's deep. Let me ask you. So, when was the turning point for you here?
Um, I think once I decided to be sober,
Okay.
that was one of the biggest turning points. I was already in county jail, but I had noticed very quick of like how I was losing everything. At that time I was married, so my wife wanted to walk out of my life. Friends were dabbling in and out of my life. Um, just life itself didn't look the same no more, from being able to be out on the streets, driving, walking, partying or whatever, at that time, what I valued was already kind of like walking out the window, what I'm saying? And the things that I didn't value, like family, like friends, small stuff, like being able to walk out whenever, going to the fridge, sleeping in a comfortable bed, being able
Mm-hmm.
to shower alone. Like those little things that I
Little
didn't value
things.
then, I started to value, and it was like, man, like I miss that. Am I ever gonna get that back? For me, like my whole first year was just like trying to escape that, the reality of things, you
Yeah.
know. So I basically engaged in a lot of like negative behavior, a lot of negative things, and
Mm-hmm.
there was that like, am I really gonna do this for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
You know. So one day I just decided to sober up, and it took me a couple of tries.
Yeah.
It's rare when somebody hits it on the first time.
Mm-hmm.
But I sobered up, but I wasn't really like, I mean, now that I know more aware of like how the program works,
Yeah.
I wasn't really sober. I was like abstinent. I'm just
Yeah.
saying no. But that was like my gateway to like really dabbling into like the program, really stepping into like the like what you call the steps and doing the work.
Yeah.
But for me, like I think that was like the most like impactful moment when it was like, you know what, I need to sober up. I'm losing everything that I love and anything that I've ever had. Like I'll never know if I'm ever gonna have it again.
Based on everything that you're saying, so it looks like you had a lot to reflect while you were in there.
Oh yeah, I just killed somebody. There's definitely a lot to reflect.
In the midst of everything, what is it exactly something that you learned as what you did? But as well, do you feel like what was really something that helped you maneuver the moment inside of prison? Like, did God help you out? Family? What was the main thing that kept you like grounded?
So I think for me, like overall, it was like a combination of all, like friends, family, God,
Mm-hmm.
and also too like just the aspiration, right, of like seeing my family, being with my family. Because when you have a visiting county, it's all through the glass.
Yeah.
so you really don't have like that physical touch, and I don't know how some people feel about it, but like physical touch is important, at least
Yeah.
to me, right? Like for me,
Yeah.
it's very important where it's reassuring that there's a connection, that
Yeah.
there's love, that there's like a trust, right? That
Hmm.
you're allowing me to touch you, and I'm allowing you to touch me, and it comes with
Yes.
a form of love, you
Hmm.
know. So for me, I desire that, and I looked for that like, for a long time,
Yeah.
and I probably had done it way before, just because of the simple fact like my mom had passed away when I was 18. So my mom was like very affectionate, and it was hard for me to connect with certain people just because of like my intent was to like feel love and receive love, but I wasn't so capable of giving it. Like I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does.
Just people showing up, what I'm saying, that I didn't think would show up.
Right.
When you're in there, like you start seeing very quick how people just kind of disappear.
Yeah.
They'll tap in and out, which is respectable. One of the things that I learned was like it's not their responsibility or burden to stay, so you can't be mad at them. It shows you where they're at as far as like how much they value you.
Yeah.
And it took me years to understand that. Which
Hmm.
is why like I value like my small circle that I have and family like so much, because when I couldn't do nothing for them, they were doing for me.
Right.
So that's why I said it's a combination of everything, like God, like my family, my children. Seeing them always kept me pushing. I mean, when you're like an alcoholic, you're like very selfish.
Yeah.
When you're a drug addict, like you just want things your way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And a lot of that was also to my doing.
Hmm.
Where it was like I'm losing what I love.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of it that I was doing without taking the accountability part.
Right.
I think that's the most important. When you take accountability, you could actually like look at your part, like what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know,
When you have a mind that's clouded, sometimes it's really hard in the moment to take accountability or to be responsible for something. You were trying to find ways to escape the
hmm
situation. You want to take responsibility, but you don't because reality hasn't sinked in yet.
yeah,
And it's not until reality sinks in that you're like, okay, it's time to change, or there's something that happened here. And it's like it gives you this feeling in your body and your soul, just kind of like you knew that there's something that you need to step up to the plate and say, yeah, well, it's because of me. But here you are and you're accepting. So that's already growth as we are. So now that we get to that, how did your mindset shift from survival to purpose?
that's a really good question. Prison most of the time is always survival, like
Hmm.
every day. I think for me, like the when my purpose got solidified was maybe like about 3 weeks before I paroled. Because I'm 35.
Yeah.
I'm a young lifer. As
Hmm.
far as like what the system calls it, like I'm a former lifer.
Yeah.
So a lot of men who are lifers are paroling when they're 40, 45, 50,
Yeah.
60, and so for me to be paroling at 30 something, like I didn't know how important or impactful that was. You know what I'm saying? Where it was like a lot of homies will come and embrace me and be like, hey, like you got this, like don't lose track of
Yeah.
the purpose, like keep your head in the game, like
Yeah.
really like narrow
Lock in.
down, yeah, lock in basically,
Hmm.
and at first it's kind of like, all right, cool, because I got a plan, but I just don't know how the plan's gonna work out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many things that could come, so many things that like can get in the way. I could
Yeah.
get things in the way by my actions, my past,
Hmm.
even just my rap sheet.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of like anxiety that I felt in that time. So by me paroling, like it solidified like my purpose because I understood like I have a second opportunity.
Yeah.
I have a second chance, and the second chance was everything that I wanted when I was in.
Yeah.
That I worked very hard for it. I didn't come like easy, but I didn't do it alone.
Yeah.
There was so many men along the way that like taught me how to think, that taught me how to reflect, to taught me like to hold myself accountable on things that I don't want to look at.
Hmm.
Because it's easier to like deny it to
Yeah.
yourself, to
Yeah.
ignore it. It's not that big of a deal. I'm gonna rationalize it. But that only holds you back from your maximum potential.
Absolutely.
So for me it was like I've learned all these things, and I'm coming out to the real world, and I have to use these tools,
Yeah.
not to take advantage of people, but to take advantage of the situation, the opportunity,
Hmm.
because when you come out here and you understand like there's a story that you have, And then it's not like it's my burden or my responsibility, but I'm accepting it as my responsibility because I'm blazing the trail for those that are my age.
Yeah.
You know, because if I succeed, like if I really put like my foot in the door and I open up that door for everybody who's coming behind me, like now the system could look at somebody that's in their mid 30s or
Yeah.
early 30s and be like, because this individual paroled, we trusted to, that he would be paroling and be safe to the community. And now he's thriving and succeeding with the resources that he got.
Amen. Yeah.
So can you, right? So for me, like that's what I say, like it's not my burden because I can only look out for myself,
Yeah.
but I'm accepting it, you know, as part of my responsibility because somebody who provoked before me laid that path for me, you know.
I see what you're saying. So basically, you just want to lead the example. You just want to make sure that you don't mess it up for the rest.
Exactly. Not only in my life, but like that's just a little small space, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
also a former felon,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So they have like these like connotations, right? Like this
Yeah.
umbrella of like, oh, this former inmate, former felon, up to no good,
Yeah.
can't work, can't live, yada yada, likes the street hustle.
Yeah.
Like maybe, yeah, I do like the street hustle. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna turn that street hustle into something bigger, that's more productive and healthier and legit.
Right.
You know. But it just overall like finding that purpose, like you find it as you go in prison, even though it's like a hostile environment where you have to be like on alert all the time, survival. But once you step out of that, like that adaptiveness, you know, that survival, it becomes a very like useful tool out here,
Yeah.
you know, where you become more aware of like people's intentions, the direction of things, the dynamics of the rooms, you know,
Yeah.
who's who and what's what, and how can you maneuver around that
Mm-hmm.
without having to put yourself in a risky situation
Yeah.
or putting yourself in a predicament where you're gonna have to respond in
A
a
negative
negative
way.
way. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know.
for sure. Okay, you guys. So I'm really excited to try the candy. But before we get into it, I do have a couple more questions just about how everything got started. It's man, it's hitting the media right now.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for it. They look good. I hear it's fire. We're about to find out if it's fuego, but I do want to know. We already know the beginning of the story, but I want to know how did it lead to this? Where did the idea of this candy came about, or how did you decide to bring this into a brand?
So I had partnered up, you know, with somebody at first
Okay.
and decided to kind of just try out like what can we make that was unique, right? Different as
Mm-hmm.
far as like taste, because it has been in the market for a minute,
Yeah.
you know. But the thing is, like, one thing I learned about prison, what it doesn't matter who comes first,
Yeah.
it matters who does it better,
Yes.
you know. So for me, I was like, okay, cool, let's try it out, and we tried so many recipes until like we got one right,
Okay.
and I was like, all right, cool, let's run with it, you know.
Okay.
But running a business, you have to like do the whole legalities, the
Yeah. Yeah.
paperwork, you know, the policies, the approvals.
Yeah.
So that took a minute, you know, and within that time, this partner and I, we kind of had a lot of differences, you know.
Okay.
So we kind of broke apart, and I believed in it a lot.
Oh
So, you
yes.
know, so I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna run with it, you know, run with it and rebuild it. And you know, thank God it's blooming, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm seeing sales kind of rise.
It's moving.
Yeah, you
It's
know, there's
moving.
there's a lot of people who give me this positive feedback of like, damn, like, this is bomb, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't try to too, you
We
know,
about
like
to
too
find
much.
out too.
Yeah, I try not to like boast about it, but it just sounded people who try it,
Yeah.
you know, give me that feedback and be like, yeah, like, this is it, you know.
Yeah.
And I do get a lot of orders for like birthday parties, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
quinceañeras. I've had a few weddings, but not like too many. Which
But
I
it's
do want to. I
coming.
do want to tap into that. You know,
Yeah.
weddings are.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah,
You'd be surprised. And people, there's also kids there sometimes
yeah.
when they allow them. So just in general, it's something different.
Oh
It's not
yeah,
something you
yeah,
see on every day at a wedding. So it's
yeah,
almost like, oh, what's this? Like,
yeah.
who's
And,
this
and they're
guy? Yeah.
treats, like they're finger treats. You know, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Some people be like eating them with the fork. You know, I've seen people eat them with like the little toothpicks.
Yeah.
But some people just go straight with the
Well, the
finger. Like,
finger, I
you know,
mean, these are like
we
tortillas
from the
nowadays,
yeah, we from the
right?
hood. You know, but
I love it.
yeah, but
Yeah.
just to kind of like sum it up, like my first intent was like I don't know if you ever like been to the roach trucks like in the hood, las troquitas.
Oh, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so you'd be like, hey, like that one was like, you know, the gummy worms,
Yeah.
right? Con chamoy and then with
Yes.
like the lucas and all that.
Yeah.
So my intent was like to give it like that kind of flavor where it's like
Hmm.
representing the hood too. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And you have like a little bit of like the Valentina, like for me, I would tell the lady
A little
like,
bit of
hey, mix it
sazón
up.
de
Yeah,
everything.
mix it up
Yeah.
with this, shake it
Yeah, yeah,
up, and then
yeah.
add some of this and that. And then so that was kind of like the same process when it was like we were getting it together to see
Hmm.
like, because I do mix like tamarindo on it, so it
Okay.
has like a little bit of pumpa, some
Yeah.
seasonings. Like it's unique, when it comes down to it. But overall, like that was the intent at first, and then once that recipe was made, it was like now we got to go through the whole process to make it legit.
Yeah. I am curious though, and it's not even a question that I have ready for you today, but it's something that just came up and I feel like it's so fresh to ask out. You said you had to try different recipes. How did you know this was it? Like, did you have to try other candies to make sure, like, oh, we can really like make it that close to that taste? So, how did it all come up? Because
So
there had to
I
be something.
Yeah, so what's funny? So when I got out, I seen that movie Hot Cheeto, or what is it called, Hot Cheeto,
Yeah. Yes.
right? It's
Is it
called
the
Hot.
guy who owns
Yeah, well, he created Hot Cheetos.
Hachiros? Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
that's a good movie.
so there was
Yeah.
this process where they're making all this like the
Yes.
recipes, and then the kid approves it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it was kind of similar,
Okay.
right? Yeah,
Okay.
it's so kid approved. I'm not even
Okay.
kidding. Like when kids eat it,
Yes.
they fly with it. They love it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was kind of a similar process. Where it was like, hey, taste this.
So a kid approved it.
Yes.
Oh, I love this. Okay,
Yeah.
parents, I'm telling you, y'all better come
Yeah.
and get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are some of the challenges that comes with making the candy so far?
So challenges. I mean, I just think like time, because it does take time.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Also too, just because there's so much out there in the market, I feel like some people have a certain expectation.
Mm-hmm.
But once like they actually purchase it online and then they get it, sometimes I get some emails that are like, "Oh my god, this is so
I mean,
bomb."
you're legit. You even have a website for it,
Oh, yeah,
right?
I do. So I have
Okay.
chapatito.com. That's like
Okay.
where we do a lot of our sales like online.
Okay.
I also do deliveries out here like in Orange County. I'm from Santa Ana, so anywhere in
Yeah.
Orange County, like I'll pull up. Like I said, we do like dozens, like 24 packs, 48 packs. I do
Okay.
72 packs too for like weddings or
Okay.
quinceañeras. But it just overall, like, when people get to try them, they're like, man, they're like so good.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I feel like there's a challenge, right, where people are accustomed to like the more dry, like a lot of tahini on there, so on and so
Yeah.
forth. And then when they get to try it, they're like, oh, this is different. This is what I
Yeah.
want,
Like they like it.
Yeah, yeah.
I really love the whole fact that it's children approved
Oh
because you
yeah,
have to think about this candy is like a very family candy. Like
yeah,
it's not just for grown-ups, but if you think about it, a lot of kids these days like the whole chili powder, the whole and if a kid approved that it's not just for them, but it's for us, it's
yeah,
just a very worldwide taste for
yeah.
people.
But I also think too, like to add on that, like it represents our culture too.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's another avenue too. Like I do a lot of community work out here.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, like I implied, and I also too like I'm very direct when it comes down to like this is like authentically Mexican flavor.
Yes.
Because I feel like there's a lot of like actions, right, that are happening
Hmm.
within like just the system in itself to eradicate or to not give us that proper
That
title.
credit.
Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
saying, that credit of like, oh, this is like, Mexican authentic, but yet
Yeah.
like you're discriminating, but yet you're eating burrito.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're looking
Absolutely.
at the tacos, carne
Yeah.
asada and all that, and but yet you want to say like,
Right.
this is not a place for you, right? So for
Right.
me, having that the privilege of being an American citizen, I will
You.
also want to represent my roots, be able to be like, hey, this is like where I come from. This is the
Yeah.
authentic taste, and I mean the community's been supportive,
Yeah.
overall.
Your value and all, just the
Yeah,
cultural value, so they can see that like we're here more than what you think we're here for.
yeah,
Like we work hard. We are here to make businesses too. We bring something to the table other than
yeah,
you think like, oh, we're just here because oh, we're taking space, right?
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's another avenue that's more like implied, but I mean, I try to be direct with it sometimes. Where depending on the rooms, where I'll speak on it, where it's like, hey, like this is a candy that represents our culture too.
Yeah. Um, but I want to get into the candy though.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
like, what do you think we should try first? Like,
Either or,
okay,
I
so
have.
tell me a little bit of these candies. Like, I want to know.
So this is the Nerds. I brought this because it's my girl's favorite.
Okay.
So she recommended this one
So
for
let me
sure.
show it to the camera, guys. Look. All right.
And these are my top sellers. These are the watermelon sour patch.
Oh, so wait a minute. So let's show them what they look inside too. So this is the first one. Look at that, you guys. All right, I'm excited. And then there's this one, right? So
Yeah,
let's see.
this is the watermelon sour patch. Those are my top sellers. Secondary is the gushers.
Kid approved.
For real. Yeah,
Okay.
once you I mean I'll let you try it, get some feedback.
Okay. 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 So let's see. I'm gonna try this. You said this is your top one, so let me head for this one. So I'm gonna use my fingers. No, no,
I
no
don't even know there's
forks. We're
napkins.
gonna. It's okay. Nos vamos a chupar los dedos if we have to. Okay. So here we are. So here it is, you guys. I want you guys. I want you guys to see. To look at that. So let's try this out. Oh yeah.
You like
It
it?
takes you back home. Like
Yeah.
it takes you. That's good.
Is
That it really is. Okay. No, I'm being so genuine, you guys. Like I look, like I can stay eating this. Okay, kids will love it. I have kids. You have kids. I do love it. This one's good. So this one's which one?
So that's the watermelon sour patch.
Okay. And this one?
Those are the nerds.
Oh, nerds. These are good too. Okay, so let's see. Put you added your little sazon. So
Yeah, it's my girl's favorite, so she was like, "Take your those." I have
let's
other
see.
flavors. I have like gummy bears, gummy worms.
You have a lot.
Yeah, peach rings.
Okay, let's try this one out. Oh, I like these. This is fire.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say for me, I like these ones. They're both good, but I'm a nerd girl, so they're good. Okay, you guys have to try these out. These are fuego. Like I really do like it. Okay,
Thank
I see him. And you say you had more flavors, though, right?
you. Yeah. I have so sour patch watermelons is like the number
Okay.
one seller online and then out here too. I have nerds, the nerds plushers.
Okay.
I have gushers, gummy worms, gummy bears, the peach rings,
Okay.
and I also do rim dips. Yeah,
Oh,
so the rim
okay.
dips, like I'm selective with them. I don't have them online
Mm-hmm.
because I have a certain like rotation of clientele. So it's just like I do it for them, and then they
Okay.
kind of take care
They
of
pay the.
business.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and I think that's one of the challenges too, like the mass production as far as
Mm-hmm.
like hundreds.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I try to keep it to a minimum as far as like the rim dips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could just add to the taste, because now that I'm done and my palate's is ready, I like that it's not too spicy. It has a very it's a very good balance. Like it's sweet, it's spicy. It has all the it has a very cultural flavor. Like for sure, you can't take that away from that. Um, but I feel like it's something that you continue to eat. It's almost like when we go back to talking about hot Cheetos, right? Like you want more. So this is
Yeah.
definitely like if you buy if it feels like if you buy one case you might want to buy a couple more because
Yeah.
this is probably gonna last one day like you're gonna want to come back and
Yeah.
eat some more and if you have kids I'm sure they're gonna like devour this so it's good I'm gonna give you that so I'm really big on chili candies and I'm very picky too and I know that when you guys see my reviews I'll be honest about it but I'm gonna be honest with you I do like it and knowing my kids this will be gone within a couple hours. I'm just being so serious, like
Yeah.
because they eat up, they eat it up. So I love it. So I'm really happy that you're doing this, and I'm gonna give you like two thumbs up.
Thank you.
It's really
Thank you.
good.
Thank you.
Okay, but now that we've tasted it, now that we know how, oh, let's talk about a little bit about the growth in the business of Chapatito. What do you think makes this candy different from the other?
I just think like the mixture too, like the taste of it, overall, like I feel also too like the mission behind it.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like being able to like, I mean, I'm not taking away from like other companies,
Yeah,
other brands that represent in a way, but I
yeah,
feel like just also too like my personal agenda, like the people like revolving like around Chapatito also have like that desire to represent more than just like on the surface level,
yeah.
and overall like what makes it different as far as like flavors, like the flavor itself.
That's good though.
Oh
It's good for business. It's
yeah.
so good for business. So I want to know what is the biggest milestone so far right now that you have with
So
the company?
I think overall like the biggest milestone is like getting it out there as far as like the attention level that it has
Hmm.
and the curiosity of like, oh, I want to try it.
Yeah.
I got a pop up coming up next week too, so I'm gonna be in that one,
Okay.
which is the brothers. Um, what's called the Brothers Market. You know, it's gonna
Okay.
be in Buena Park, so I got that one coming up. I got a few
Check
coming
him
up.
out.
Yeah, come through.
Yeah.
I just did one with Breeze Sky,
Okay.
not so long ago, like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's just like certain things that I feel like little by little bring the awareness and
Yeah.
people get a little curious, you know, like, hey, let me try it.
Yeah.
You know, usually at the pop ups, you know, when they try like a sample,
Yeah.
like, damn, like, and I
It's
try to, yeah, and
good.
I try to do deals, right? I do like 3 for 25
Mhm.
right there and then, or if not for the deliveries, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
right here in Orange County. And they'll be like, let me get nine, let me get 10,
Yeah.
let me get a 12 pack. Because they're like, oh, I live in
Yeah.
LA, I live
Yeah.
like in San Diego. And it's
Yeah.
like, you know, if you're taking that much, like, cool, let's
Yeah. Yeah.
go. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I feel just and then too, they share it, you know, with their family
They
members, you
do.
know. And I've had
Word
a
of mouth.
couple, yeah, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I've had a couple people who tag me usually like on the Instagram, you know, be like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, fire, da da da. I shared it with
Yeah.
everybody. I need a re-up because they couldn't keep their hands
Yeah.
off of it, you know?
I'm telling you, yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly how it feels like. You obviously this is just a video. We can't eat it all right now, but I'm gonna take it home. I'm about to chop it up. I'm going to I might not even know for my kids. Just play. But I love this so far. So let me ask you something. What is an advice that you can give to someone who wants to start a business but feels like their past holds them back?
I mean, I would say like don't let your past define you. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I mean, I think overall there's like some lessons that I've learned, and especially like paroling from prison with a life sentence is
Mm-hmm.
that there's really like sky's the limit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you could put these boundaries and respect certain boundaries, you know, based out of like what's expected of you as a person, as a human.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to business, like use those same strategies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like understand that in your past you had a motive, you know, that you had some type of intention. And even though you conducted yourself in a negative way, that energy could be transformed into positive energy
Yeah.
that can drive you like into a successful environment, you know,
Mm-hmm.
successful like position in your life.
Yeah.
And no matter like how many times like you get knocked down, like just get back up,
Get back up.
you know, because business isn't easy. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I've been doing this now for like going close to like a year,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I didn't see like no real sprout until like the past like 40 something days,
Yeah.
you know. But like I said, it's a process and respecting the process and also to like believing in what you have.
Yeah. Being said that you've been in prison before, what is the message you would give to someone who's currently in prison right now that's watching this interview?
One of the main ones is like really discover who you are. You know what I'm saying? Discover who you are and not what other people expect you to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially when you're in prison, like there's certain expectations, obligations that are pressed on you
Yeah.
by like outside entities that it kind of distorts like that process of how you see yourself, how you value yourself, because your identity is attached to that. You know, so I feel for me, like when I was able to unhinge myself from that identity and started working on my own,
Mm-hmm.
started working on my own identity, focusing on areas in my life that I needed to heal, to
Yeah.
amend. Like it gave me a whole different definition of like myself, you know, my self worth, you know, how I can like embrace solitude or be like in a room just quiet by myself, not like in a crazy kind of stance, but more of like I'm comfortable with where I'm at
Yeah.
and inside my skin, like I'm comfortable,
Yeah.
you know. And I think once you find that comfortability of like being alone and also to like understanding your worth, like when you come out here, like you're more driven, you know, you're less distracted by the little things that you're like were once trying to prove, like, well, I want to get this person's validation or this group's validation,
Mm-hmm.
or I want to get a pat on the back from so and so. Like you're just more focused on you and your values are different,
Yeah.
you know. So your actions and your values run concurrent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not just speaking about certain values, but then your actions are like over here.
Yeah.
You know, they run concurrent and that gives you like a healthier lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And it also too allows you to like grow as a person, you know,
Yeah.
become the best version of yourself. But I mean, some people do that out here naturally because they have prime examples,
Yeah.
you know. But if you're in prison, like I would gravitate towards those that are already doing that in that environment
Yeah.
because you grow so much from that. you'll learn and you'll see the outcome of their lives.
Yeah.
Even though regardless they're like in prison or like in a fucked up environment, at the end of the day, like you see them walking with peace.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where you like understand like it's part of like their healing process, and it's also too part of like their journey.
Yeah.
You know, where they get to grow and learn and become like the best versions of themselves. You know,
Yeah.
so I would definitely, that's one of the key messages I can give to anybody in there. Like work on
Well,
yourself and focus.
and that's beautiful, honestly. It's really good knowledge, and I think it gives hope. Like I said, your whole story in general just is very impactful. Um, Look at where you're at now. I mean, like I know a lot of people, like I said earlier, people always want to judge the past, but it's here where we're at now. We're in the present. We can't even worry about the future because we don't even know what's gonna happen then. So we're here. When you look back at your life today, what is something that you're grateful for?
I mean, there's a lot, but I think overall priority would be my freedom.
Hmm.
You know, when I was younger, I didn't understand that certain actions had consequences, and some of those consequences could have been severe,
Yeah.
which eventually it led to that, you know. But now that I have the second opportunity, like my utmost, like paramount, like is my freedom, you know,
Yeah.
and it's followed by like God, my sobriety, family. But ultimately, like what I'm most grateful for is my freedom,
Okay.
you know, because like you don't, I mean, at least for me, right? I'm gonna speak for me, like you don't understand how much freedom is worth until you lose it and you accept that you're never gonna get it back,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like that rebirth, it's like that second chance, it's like ultimate. Like I'm getting this now, like I cannot lose it. You cultivate it, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You protect it like if it's a baby, you know? So I think for me, those like that. There's so many other values, but for me, that's like my most important. My freedom.
Well, with that being said, if you could go back and talk to your younger self before prison, what would you tell him?
Whew. Um, I mean, I don't want to sound cliche, but like I feel like I would tell him that this too shall pass.
Mm,
You know, I feel like when I was younger, like I was stuck on these like feelings. You know, especially because my name's Herbert.
yeah.
You know, so I would be bullied like, oh, Herbert the pervert, perv, and
Ah,
so that
of
would put me like
course.
in a negative like mindset. I had a lot going on when I was younger, you know, especially in my household.
Hmm.
Then my mom dying, you know, so all these like emotions and feelings, like I didn't know how to process,
Yeah.
but I was unwilling to ask for help, you know. But yeah, my behavior, like you know, my drug addiction, my alcoholism, was projecting that hurt,
Yeah.
you know. And if I could tell something to my younger self, it's like definitely that, like this too shall pass, like it's not permanent.
Hmm.
Because when you're so young, you think that it's gonna last forever,
Yeah.
you know. And for me, like I abused that because it was like this is my excuse to do all this, you know, because my life is so shitty. I'm gonna do all this,
Yeah.
and nobody cares about me. And if they do care about me, they're done caring for me. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you put yourself in that victim mindset, and I think I would tell my younger self like, you are loved. You know, you are worth it.
Yeah.
You know, this is only a moment in a temporary like situation,
Yeah.
and you know, God has your back. You know, but I didn't want to accept that when I was younger. I mean, I accept it now, but
Yeah.
that's what I would tell my younger self for sure.
God is always there.
Yeah,
He'll always be
always
present.
has been. Yeah.
Yeah. Always has been. Oh, amen. Yes, I love that. Well, you guys, with that being said, thank you so much for just being here, sharing your story.
Thank
The
you.
candies were delicious. I think you have a great path ahead of what's coming for you. Um, I'm very grateful that he's here. I tried the candy, you guys. It was good.
Yeah, you guys can reach me at chapatito.com or Chapatito Chamoy Antojitos in Instagram. If you guys from Orange County, I do deliveries, I do catering for events. You can reach me at 714-747-6487. That's the business number. I usually have it on me. So, yeah, just give me a ring whenever. And yeah, if you guys do try them, tag us, give us your feedback. And if you guys want a discount online for chapatito.com, type in fire, you get 20% off. So
All right, guys. So there you have it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here,
thank
Herbert.
you.
Go get this chapatito, you guys. Fire. I'm gonna put all the information in the description box. Follow him on Instagram.
Appreciate it.
And that's it, you guys. There you go. Till next time.